Chosen one. The person who mocked your success never expected to become a witness to their own downfall. Read that again. Because what happened was not an accident. What unfolded was not random. And if you found this message today, there's a reason your eyes landed on these words. Somewhere along your journey, someone laughed when they saw your struggles. They smirked when your plans failed. They whispered behind closed doors when life knocked you to your knees. They watched your setbacks as if they were proof that you would never rise. But something happened that they never saw coming. The very story they used to entertain themselves became the story that exposed them. The very person they dismissed became the person they could no longer ignore. And the strangest part of all, the moment they thought they had finally figured you out was the exact moment they misunderstood everything. Chosen one, what you are about to hear goes much deeper than revenge. This is about human nature. This is about hidden psychology. This is about what happens when people mistake a seed for a finished tree. Because they saw the dirt, they never saw the roots. If this message speaks to your journey, leave your thoughts in the comments. And if this resonates with you, consider subscribing. Now listen carefully, because the deeper truth is only beginning to reveal itself. Number 1, they mistook your season of preparation for permanent defeat. Here's what they never understood. Some people are incapable of recognizing potential unless it already looks successful. They only respect a mountain after everyone else is standing at the summit taking pictures. They do not understand the years spent climbing. They do not understand the bruises. They do not understand the storms. They only understand appearances. And that is exactly why they underestimated you. Chosen one. While they were measuring your current circumstances, life was quietly building your foundation. While they focused on what you lacked, you were learning lessons that money cannot buy. While they were laughing, you were evolving. Think about this. A diamond does not begin as something beautiful. It begins hidden beneath pressure, invisible, ignored, buried. Yet the pressure that seems destructive is often creating something priceless. That was your story. They looked at the pressure. They never imagined what it was producing. Imagine standing in a dark valley while people on the hills point at you and laugh. They think the valley is your destination. They never realize it is only the path. They see your struggle. They cannot see your transformation. And because they cannot see it, they assume it does not exist. But transformation does not ask for permission to happen. It happens in silence. It happens underground. It happens in the hidden places where nobody is watching. And that is why the people who mocked you were destined to be shocked. Because one day the invisible work became visible reality. And when it did, everything changed. Number 2, they built their confidence on comparing themselves to you. This is where the story becomes uncomfortable. Many people do not feel strong because they are strong. They feel strong because they believe someone else is weaker. Let that sink in. Their confidence was never built on growth. It was built on comparison. They needed someone beneath them. They needed someone struggling. They needed someone failing. And for a while, they chose you. Every setback you experienced became fuel for their ego. Every obstacle became evidence for their superiority. They thought your pain elevated them. They thought your delays proved they were ahead. But comparison is a dangerous foundation, because the moment the person below rises, the illusion collapses. Chosen one, you were never competing with them. You were fighting battles they could not see. You were healing wounds they never knew existed. You were carrying burdens that would have broken many people. While they were watching your external circumstances, you were rebuilding your internal world. And that difference changed everything. Because external success without inner growth is like a house built on sand. It looks impressive until the storm arrives. But inner growth, that is bedrock, that survives, that remains, that endures. And when reality finally tested both of you, the results became impossible to ignore. That's when reality hit. Number 3, your silence confused them. Chosen one, they expected a reaction. They expected anger. They expected revenge. They expected you to spend your energy proving them wrong. But you did something they couldn't understand. You stayed focused. You stayed quiet. You kept moving. And that silence became one of the most powerful forces in your life. Here's the truth. People who mock others often crave emotional control. They want a response. They want evidence that they can influence your emotions. They want confirmation that they still occupy space in your mind. But when you refuse to give them that power, something strange happens. The mirror turns around. Suddenly, they begin questioning themselves. Suddenly, they wonder whether they misjudged you. Suddenly, they become uncomfortable. Imagine throwing stones into a deep ocean. You expect a dramatic reaction. Instead, the ocean absorbs everything and remains vast. That was you. Their words were stones. Your purpose was the ocean. And because you refused to shrink yourself to their level, they were eventually forced to confront something they had spent years avoiding: themselves. That is where karma often begins. Not in punishment, but in self-confrontation. Number 4, they never imagined how strong pain would make you. Pain changes people, but not always in the way others expect. Some people assume suffering destroys you. Sometimes it does. But sometimes suffering introduces you to strengths you never knew existed. Chosen one, the hardships they mocked became your training ground. The loneliness they laughed at became your classroom. The rejection they celebrated became your redirection. Every difficult season carved wisdom into your character. Every disappointment taught resilience. Every betrayal sharpened discernment. Imagine a blacksmith placing metal into fire. The fire looks destructive, yet the fire is creating strength. Without the heat, the blade remains weak. Without the pressure, the steel never becomes useful. You walk through fire, and while they were watching the flames, they never realized what was being forged: a stronger mind, a deeper spirit, a calmer heart, an unshakable identity. And when life eventually placed both of you in situations requiring real strength, the difference became obvious. You had been prepared. They had only been performing. Number 5, the success that exposed them was never about money. Now listen carefully. This is one of the deepest truths in this entire message. Many people think success is money. Many people think success is status. Many people think success is attention. But real success runs deeper. Real success is peace. Real success is freedom. Real success is waking up without carrying bitterness. Real success is becoming the person your pain tried to prevent you from becoming. They thought they were winning because they looked successful, but appearances can be deceiving. Behind some smiles are prisons. Behind some applause is emptiness. Behind some victories is fear. Chosen one, the success that exposed them was not your achievements. It was your transformation. They watched you become someone they could no longer manipulate, someone they could no longer intimidate, someone they could no longer define. And that realization hit harder than any argument ever could, because your growth forced them to face their own stagnation. Number 6, the karma arrived the moment the truth became visible. People often imagine karma as some dramatic event. Sometimes it is, but many times karma is much quieter. It arrives the moment reality removes a mask. It arrives when excuses stop working. It arrives when self-deception collapses. Imagine spending years convincing yourself that another person's struggles prove your superiority. Then one day that person rises, not through shortcuts, not through luck, but through discipline, healing, growth, character. Suddenly your entire narrative falls apart. That is a painful moment, because now the truth is standing in front of you, and the truth cannot be argued with. The truth simply exists. The person they mocked became evidence against everything they believed, and that evidence followed them everywhere. Number 7, you were never meant to stay small. Chosen one, the greatest mistake they made was assuming your current chapter was your entire story. They judged the sunrise while it was still dark. They judged the river before it reached the ocean. They judged the seed before it broke through the soil. They saw beginnings and called them endings. They saw process and called it failure. They saw struggle and called it weakness. But life does not reveal its masterpiece in a single moment. It unfolds, layer by layer, season by season, storm by storm. And every challenge you survived was adding another chapter to a story far greater than anyone could understand, including you, because there were moments when even you questioned yourself, moments when even you wondered whether they were right, moments when exhaustion whispered lies into your mind, moments when loneliness felt heavier than hope. Yet somehow you kept moving. One step, then another, and those steps changed everything. Chosen one, the people who mocked your success believed they were watching your limits. In reality, they were watching your beginning. Today, you understand something they never did. Mountains are not built overnight. Rivers do not reach oceans instantly. Diamonds are not formed without pressure. And people with purpose are not created through comfort. They are created through perseverance, through healing, through faith, through courage, through choosing to continue when quitting would have been easier. So if someone mocked your success before it arrived, do not carry bitterness. Do not carry hatred. Do not carry the weight of proving anything to anyone. Keep building, keep growing, keep becoming. Because the greatest response to mockery is not revenge. It is transformation. And the most powerful karma is when your life becomes undeniable evidence that they were wrong about you all along. Chosen one, never forget this. The same storm they thought would break you became the wind that carried you higher. Number 8. The moment they saw you smiling again changed everything. Chosen one, there is something deeply unsettling to people who expected your pain to last forever, not because they cared, but because your suffering became part of the story they told themselves about who you were. As long as you remained broken, their judgment felt justified. As long as you remained discouraged, their assumptions felt correct. As long as you remained stuck, they never had to question themselves. But then something happened. You smiled again. Not the forced smile people wear to hide their wounds. Not the fragile smile that disappears at the first sign of difficulty. This was different. This was the smile of someone who had walked through darkness and discovered they could survive it. This was the smile of someone who no longer needed approval to feel valuable. This was the smile of someone who had finally stopped asking permission to exist. And when they saw that smile, something shifted, because they realized they no longer had access to the version of you they once knew. The wounded version, the insecure version, the version that doubted every step. That person was gone. Imagine a prisoner walking out of a cell after years of captivity. The chains fall, the doors open, the sunlight touches their face. Now imagine the people who built their identity around watching that prisoner remain trapped. What happens when the prisoner becomes free? Their entire perception collapses. That is exactly what happened. They laughed. You healed. They judged. You grew. They mocked. You transformed. And your healing became the karma they never anticipated. Number 9. They couldn't understand why nothing stopped you. Here's what they never understood. Strength is not the absence of hardship. Strength is what remains after hardship takes everything it can and still fails to destroy your spirit. Chosen one, there were nights nobody knows about. Nights when you questioned everything. Nights when disappointment sat beside you like an unwelcome shadow. Nights when your dreams seemed impossibly far away. Nights when the silence felt louder than any noise. But you kept going, not because it was easy, not because you had all the answers, but because something inside you refused to surrender. And that confused them, because people who rely on appearances often assume resilience has limits. They believe everyone eventually breaks. They believe everyone eventually gives up. They believe enough pressure can stop anyone. They underestimated the fire inside you. Imagine a river flowing toward the ocean. Rocks appear. The river continues. Mountains stand in the way. The river adapts. Obstacles emerge. The river finds another path. That was your journey. You did not stop because the road became difficult. You learned how to move differently. You learned how to bend without breaking. You learned how to endure without becoming bitter. And eventually the obstacles that were supposed to stop you became proof of how unstoppable you had become. Number 10. The truth they avoided eventually found them. Now listen carefully. One of the greatest forms of karma is truth, because truth is patient. Truth does not rush. Truth does not need to defend itself. Truth waits, and eventually it arrives. The people who mocked you spent years avoiding certain realities. They avoided their insecurities. They avoided their fears. They avoided their unresolved wounds. Instead of facing themselves, they focused on you. Instead of fixing their own lives, they analyzed yours. Instead of growing, they criticized. Instead of healing, they projected. But projection only works for so long. Eventually the mirror appears. Eventually reality demands honesty. Eventually every person must stand alone with their own reflection. And that is where many people experience their greatest struggle. Not when life challenges them, but when life exposes them. Imagine standing before a mirror that reflects not your face, but your character. No filters, no excuses, no audience, only truth. That mirror eventually appeared in their life. And suddenly all the energy they spent judging others could no longer distract them from themselves. That's when reality hit. Number 11. Your success was never the destination. Chosen one. Many people believe the story ends when success arrives. It doesn't. That is where another chapter begins. Because the greatest gift was never the success itself. The greatest gift was who you became while pursuing it. Think about this. If someone handed you everything you wanted years ago, before the struggles, before the lessons, before the growth, would you have been ready? Probably not. The person you are now carries wisdom your former self did not possess. The person you are now sees things differently. The person you are now understands value differently. You appreciate what others take for granted. You recognize character when others only see appearances. You understand that real power is quiet. Real confidence is calm. Real strength does not need to announce itself. The world changed around you because you changed within. And that transformation cannot be taken away. Money can disappear. Positions can change. Crowds can leave. But character remains. And character is exactly what your journey built. Number 12. The best part of your story has not happened yet. Chosen one. Read that slowly. The best part of your story has not happened yet. Not because life will suddenly become perfect. Not because every challenge will disappear. But because you are no longer the person who once feared every obstacle. You have become stronger than circumstances. You have become wiser than setbacks. You have become deeper than disappointments. The storms that once terrified you now reveal how far you come. The mountains that once seemed impossible now remind you of what you are capable of climbing. The darkness that once surrounded you now makes the light more meaningful. Imagine standing on a mountain at sunrise. For hours the world was dark. For hours nothing seemed to change. For hours the horizon remained silent. Then suddenly the first light appears. Not all at once, just enough to reveal what was hidden. Then more light comes, and more, until the landscape is completely transformed. That is where you are now. The sunrise is not coming. The sunrise has already begun. And the people who mocked you, they are no longer the focus of the story. Because your destiny was never connected to proving them wrong. Your destiny was connected to becoming who you were always meant to be. Chosen one. The chapter of pain taught you endurance. The chapter of rejection taught you self-worth. The chapter of betrayal taught you discernment. The chapter of struggle taught you resilience. And now a new chapter is opening. A chapter where your confidence is no longer borrowed from external validation. A chapter where your peace is no longer dependent on other people's opinions. A chapter where your purpose becomes stronger than your fears. So walk forward without resentment. Walk forward without looking back. Walk forward knowing that every wound carried a lesson. Every storm carried a purpose. Every delay carried preparation. Every obstacle carried hidden strength. And every person who doubted you unknowingly became part of the path that led you to your transformation. Chosen one. One day you will look back at everything that tried to break you, and you will realize it was never the end of your story. It was the beginning of the person you were destined to become. Number 13. The day they realized you were never their competition. Chosen one. This is a part of the story very few people talk about, because by the time some people finally recognize your worth, it is already too late. Not too late for them to change. Not too late for them to grow. But too late to continue believing the illusion they created about you. For years, they measured themselves against you. For years, they watched your every move. For years, they secretly celebrated your setbacks and quietly analyzed your struggles. They thought life was a race. They thought your delay meant their victory. They thought your obstacles meant they were ahead. But life has a strange way of exposing shallow measurements. Because eventually they look closer. And for the first time, they realized something that had been true all along. You were never running their race. You were running your own. Imagine two travelers walking through different landscapes. One is crossing a desert. The other is climbing a mountain. The traveler in the desert laughs because the climber moves slowly. The climber laughs because the traveler appears exhausted. Neither understands the other's journey. Neither understands the challenges hidden from view. That is how many people judge you, without context, without understanding, without wisdom. And when reality finally revealed the full picture, they were forced to confront an uncomfortable truth. They had been comparing completely different journeys. You were never behind. You were simply becoming. Number 14. Your presence became a reminder of what is possible. Chosen one. People often believe success makes others uncomfortable, but that is only part of the truth. What truly makes people uncomfortable is transformation, because transformation removes excuses. Your growth became evidence. Your resilience became evidence. Your healing became evidence. Your discipline became evidence. Every step forward became proof that difficult beginnings do not determine final outcomes. And some people were inspired by that, but others felt exposed by it, because every time they saw you rise, they were reminded of opportunities they ignored. Every time they saw you heal, they were reminded of wounds they refused to address. Every time they saw you evolve, they were reminded of areas where they remained stagnant. Here's the truth. Your existence became a mirror, not because you intended it, not because you tried, but because authentic growth naturally reveals what is possible. Imagine walking into a dark room carrying a lantern. You do not need to point at the darkness. The light does all the work. Your transformation became that light, and some people celebrated it, others resented it. But neither reaction changed the truth. You have become living proof that pain does not have the final word. Number 15. The greatest karma was watching you refuse to become like them. Now listen carefully. This may be the deepest lesson of all. Because after everything you endured, you had every reason to become bitter. You had every reason to become cold. You had every reason to carry resentment. Many people would have. Many people do. But somehow you chose a different path. You chose growth over revenge. You chose wisdom over bitterness. You chose healing over hatred. And that decision changed everything. Chosen one. Anyone can become hardened by pain. Anyone can allow disappointment to poison their spirit. Anyone can spend years replaying old wounds. But very few people possess the courage to heal. Very few people possess the strength to remain kind after being misunderstood. Very few people possess the maturity to move forward without carrying resentment. That is why your journey became powerful. Because you did not simply survive. You transformed. Imagine two fires burning in the night. One fire destroys everything it touches. The other provides warmth and light. Both contain power, but only one creates life. You became the second fire. The pain could have consumed you. Instead, it refined you. And when the people who mocked you witnessed that transformation, they were forced to acknowledge something they never expected. You have become stronger than the circumstances that once defined you. Number 16. The story was never about them. Chosen one. As this message comes to its final chapter, there's one truth you must carry with you. The story was never about the people who mocked you. It only felt that way for a season. It only seemed that way when the wounds were fresh. It only appeared that way when their words echoed loudly in your mind. But now you can see more clearly. They were not the main characters. They were not the authors. They were not the destination. They were only part of the environment through which you traveled. The real story has always been about you discovering who you are. The real story has always been about your growth, your resilience, your healing, your purpose, your becoming. Think about the seed buried beneath the ground. From the outside, it appears forgotten, ignored, invisible. Yet beneath the surface, life is quietly unfolding. Roots are stretching. Strength is developing. Growth is taking place. Then one day the seed breaks through the soil, not because the darkness defeated it, but because the darkness prepared it. That was your journey. Everything that tried to bury you became part of what helped you grow. Everything that tried to stop you became part of what strengthened you. Everything that tried to diminish you became part of what revealed your value. And now, Chosen one, you stand in a place where your past no longer controls your future. You stand in a place where old opinions no longer define your identity. You stand in a place where your scars no longer represent weakness. They represent survival. They represent wisdom. They represent victory. So release the need to look back. Release the need to explain yourself. Release the need to prove anything. The people who understand your journey will not require explanations, and the people determined to misunderstand you would never have accepted them anyway. Keep walking. Keep building. Keep healing. Keep rising. Because there are still mountains waiting for you to climb. There are still dreams waiting for you to reach. There are still lives waiting to be touched by the strength you gain from your struggle. And one day, when you look back across the distance you have traveled, you will realize something extraordinary. The people who mock your success were never the reason you rose. The strength was always inside you. The purpose was always inside you. The light was always inside you. And nothing they said could extinguish what was destined to shine. Chosen one, never forget this final truth. When people laughed at the seed, they did not realize they were standing in the shadow of a future forest. Final reflection. Chosen one, before you leave this message, remember something powerful. The people who mock your success only saw the chapter where you were struggling. They never saw the chapters being written in silence. They never saw the battles you fought when nobody was watching. They never saw the strength you were building beneath the surface. And that is why they were shocked when you rose. Not because your success appeared suddenly, but because they never paid attention to the growth happening in the dark. Today, stand taller. Walk forward with confidence. Not because you need to prove anyone wrong, but because you finally understand who you are. The pain had a purpose. The delays had a purpose. The setbacks had a purpose. Nothing was wasted. Chosen one, your story is not proof that life was easy. Your story is proof that you kept going when it wasn't. And that is why you shine. Because the strongest light is not the one that never faced darkness. It is the one that refused to go out.